So I seen Kevin Worley's post on his track pack where he had a real good day at the track, and he gave a little rundown of his car, and I kind of wanted to do the same thing. I thought that was a pretty cool idea. Kind of give a history of what he has, and a little bit of history on these cars here, so I kind of want to do the same. So this here is a 2007 427R. I am the third owner of the car. I bought it back in July of 2021. You will notice that the car does not have the iconic hockey sticks on the side. I had bought it that way. Did not have them on there, but I really love how sleek this car is. I've worked really hard at blacking this car out. I am a huge fan of black. I absolutely hate keeping it clean, hate cleaning it, but it is an amazing car. This car has 40,000 original miles on it. I have put probably 1,500 miles on it myself since I have owned it. Most of the time it sits in the garage, gets wiped down with a diaper every day. So like I said, when I bought this car, it was completely stock. I had changed out the tires and wheels. I have the chrome wheels and tires tucked away. Went with the SVE 350R wheels. They are staggered, has 285s up front on a 10-inch wheel, has 305s in the rear on a 11-inch wheel. On the front, kind of hard to see, I went with the Speedform 9-bar billet grille. It's very similar to what was on the track pack cars. It was very difficult to find the Roush 9-bar billet grille. I smoked out the headlights, the fog lights, and also the turn signals, and added the APR Performance Racing front splitter. On the sides, I added the Speedform side skirt splitters, and on the rear, I made my own rear spats out of ABS plastic. They turned out really good, in my opinion. I did add a billet fuel door on there. Everything else from Roush is pretty well factory. It does have 20% tint all the way around. On the rear, I decided to add a True Fiber deck lid panel. Went with the Gen 5 taillights, did the smoked third brake light, and also the smoked LED side markers. This car does have LEDs all the way around and everywhere on the interior. The whole car has been dyno matted, and also has a lifetime Guyon ceramic coating on the car. Nice little touch for the antenna. I made my own out of billet aluminum. Now this car from factory did have silver Roush decals and the silver stripes on the sides. I did not like them. I was not a fan of them. They were too white for my liking. If you can see here, that's exactly what they were there. So I contacted Roush. They sent me matte black. I put those on there. Looks a million times better. Now when I bought this car, it was completely stock motor-wise. I took it up to, if I can get the hood open, took it up to Bryn Speed and had them do the 490R Bryn Speed package on there. So it does have the cold air intake from Steeda. It is tuned, colder plugs, has a Kenny Bell booster pump in the rear. I also added the Ford Racing throttle body. I did have them put Detroit rocker cams. I have the idle set at about 650. This car shakes at a stoplight. It does have the smaller supercharger pulley, larger idler pulley. As far as the other things I've changed on the engine bay, I did do a Steeda strut tower brace. The ones from Roush are unicorns to find. So I do have a Moroso can in the back there, cover for the brake cylinders, and had the Canton overflow tank, the Canton power steering tank there. Went with the, decided to keep the stock supercharger overflow tank there. Everything else is billet. All the nice little studs. The car is signed by Jack Roush in 2 different places. I added the Speedform side radiator covers. Gives it a nice sleek look now. I love it. As far as exhaust goes, I don't know how you can see it. There we go. But I did do Flowtech shorty headers. They are tuned. Do have the stock mid pipes on there. Steeda X pipe. And on the rears, I went with the Flowmaster Flow FX resonated mufflers with the 4-inch tips. It looks a million times better. The stock Roush ones, I'm not a fan of chrome. I love the look of chrome, but I hate keeping it clean. Of course, this is coming from a guy who has a black car. Anybody that has black cars, you'll know that it's impossible to keep clean, but when it is clean, it looks amazing. It does still have the factory GT brakes on it. One of these days I will upgrade to some Stop Tex or something up front. It does have the Roush front suspension on it still. In the rear, I went with BC Racing coilovers and dialed them down so the rears do match the fronts now. And this thing handles like a dream. It sounds amazing, and it's fast. Now, little history about this car. From Roush, it was not an option on this particular car to have the Roush seats or Roush interior. The car was sent to Town & Country Ford, and they did their own custom leather and micro suede interior before they sold it new. They also did micro suede headliner. The A-pillars are micro suede, and also the door card covers. Now, as far as the interior goes, what I added does have the Roush boost gauge. It does have the stock Roush shifter. I had professionally shortened to my liking, and it's so much better for me. I thought it was way too tall. I decided to go with something a little bit shorter, something a little bit more low profile. It does have a aftermarket head unit I put in, billet things on there. The steering wheel I bought from Redline Goods and did my own stitching. It is leather and Alcantara two-tone. And then moving on to the trunk. I bought a Shaker 1000 subwoofer enclosure, added my own JL subs. As a factory amp was taken out of there, so I put a aftermarket amp. Everything's all tucked in, nice and neat. Made my own bracketry for a fire extinguisher and added the Roush toolkit, brand new. Got it from a guy for a really good deal. He bought it back in 2013, never installed it. Still has all the tools in there. There we go.